But by far, the most difficult thing you're going to find is to identify price discrimination. So let's do a question here to kind of practice this a little more. Which of this is a question from the pre-lectures, which of this is price discrimination? Or do you think all of this are example of price discrimination? So let's take them one by one. Let's see the first one. First class passengers paying more for plane tickets. I have a really hard truth to tell you is you've never flown first class. Let me tell you, it is actually better than regular seats. So this is not an example of price discrimination. The reason people pay more for first class tickets is because they get more when they pay for it. So there cannot be price discrimination because for price discrimination to take place, you have to sell the same good at different prices, and first class tickets and regular tickets are not the same good. First class seats are much better. So the first one is not price discrimination, which makes already E wrong. So we have to go one by one and see which of the last remaining three are price discrimination. Take the second one, attractive people earning higher salaries. First thing is, does this really happen? Well, there's an economist, Daniel Hammermesh, who spent most of his career as an economist studying whether this happens or not. And in fact, all of his research suggests that it does happen, that companies usually pay attractive people more for the same job after you control for all the differences. In fact, he actually finds that the amount by which a typical good-looking US worker will out-earn a typical, what he called ugly one over the lifetime is $230,000. So it is in fact true. Now, he doesn't find there's any reason to suggest that attractive people will be better at their jobs than non-attractive people. So therefore, this is not price discrimination. The reason that employers are paying more to attractive people is simply because of biases. All right, so that is not price discrimination. Attractive people earning higher salaries. How about teenagers paying more for car insurance? As you can see, teenagers do get into more accidents, fatal accidents and accidents in general than everyone for a different age group. So the reason why teenagers pay a higher cost of premium is because they're more risky. So it is not the same good. Insurance to a teenager is actually more expensive because it's more expensive to insure them because they get into more accidents. So that is not an example of price discrimination. Left up with one option, so let's see if this is in fact an example of price discrimination.